Welcome back, everybody. Just got back from working today and had a repair that I was doing today. Lady called me out and said she was tired of bringing hoses around and watering everything, dragging those things all around. So I figured I'd do a little quick tutorial on irrigation systems. Why I think they're important, why I think they're good. Everybody has their own opinion. Kind of some stuff I use, why I like it. But here's kind of a breakdown. What I have here is a 1-inch electric valve. Basically your water from your supply, from well, from the city, from lake, ponds, whatever, comes in through here and it goes out into the irrigation system. What I have it is a 1-inch. Typically a lot of 1-inch is done with irrigation, but from here it goes off to sprinkler heads. As you can see, it kind of steps down from whatever water pressure you have. It changes from everybody. So you have a lot of water coming through here and it shoots it down to give you a little bit more pressure to come up to the head. This is a rotor head. There's all types of different heads, all types of different name brands. I like to use Rainbird. I think a lot of landscapers use Rainbird. But again, that's just my favorite. I love them. They're a good quality type irrigation system and product. This is a rotor head, so it's kind of like I guess you could say the diagrams of irrigation. There's a lot of complex things involved with them. Like I said, you have all types of variables, be it going uphill, how many heads you can put on a system at a time. I'll be more than happy to do another video on that, even with just simple replacing. These things are not very hard to replace. You can get these at Lowe's, your local home improvement store. But again, they're not hard to replace, as well with the spray heads. Some things that are involved with the irrigation system is drip tubing. A lot of people use drip tubing around plants. Over time, they can come kind of aggravating with plants growing into them. I have a lot of repairs where my irrigation's not working, be it the drip tubing. Well, the drip tubing has been closed off by the actual roots of the plants. Again, depending on how it's installed, who installs it, there are all kind of variables. So, but again, there's all kind of ways to fix these things that are very simple to do. A lot of people don't want to do it, so I'd be happy to do it. Give me a call. I can come and fix it for you. Some other things that I like to do with irrigation system is everything's Bluetooth now. I actually have it for my house. You can probably hear my goats in the background. I'll go down there in a minute and I kind of show you what I'm talking about. I have it to where their water bowl is on a timer, and I have it to my phone where I can just simply push a button on the program and say water that zone, and it fills up buckets. I don't have to drag hoses all around, not in the way. I don't have to be running over them. So there's a lot of variables you can do with the irrigation system to help your everyday life. We were in Tennessee on a vacation, and my grandfather called me and said, your goats are out of water. It's 100 degrees, so it's going to be going pretty quick. Well, all I had to do, I was actually standing in line at an amusement park. All I did was go to the app, push the button, water it, 5 minutes, bucket's full. No problems, no issues. Very easy to use. I think almost everything now is going Bluetooth and Wi-Fi enabled, and those timers aren't really much more expensive than just the regular timer that you get from Lowe's that has the different zones on it, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. They go all the way up. All kind of numbers you can put on there. I've installed all types of systems, commercial, obviously residential is what I do primarily now, but I maintain all types of systems. And again, this is kind of just a basic overview of it, of this system. It is an electric system, so you can see these valves go to your timer, but this is just basically your valve, 1-inch valve. Everything's glued in, obviously dug on the ground. But again, if you want me to do another video of simple repairs for some of these things, they do wear out. And again, I like to use Rainbird because they are quote unquote the name brand in irrigation systems. There are all type of cheaper ones at Lowe's, but you get what you pay for, in my opinion. But that's not to say I've never used them. They work, but it just depends on how long they work. Biggest problem I see with these sprinkler heads, rotor heads, spray heads is just the up and down movement of them every day, or however long you use them. Sand gets there and this thing goes up and down, and if any type of little grain sand gets on this sprinkler head, it wears a groove in there and it won't be able to operate to its max capacity. Sorry. But again, that's with these valves too. These screws right here on the top, there's a diaphragm under here, and if one little tiny grain of sand gets underneath this, basically electronic signals goes through here, and signals go up and go down in short term. So if one piece of little rock, grain of sand, or whatever gets under there, it's not going to sit all the way in that little cup that it's designed to sit in, and just constant water is going to be able to trickle through. So that's where you get a lot of problems with homeowners calling me saying they have a leak, and then we go there, diagnose it, and it's usually that from either a repair that was done at some point, or it was hit, they don't know it, or even age. These things are just like with anything else. It requires some type of maintenance, and over time they wear out. It's a little rubber gasket in there that'll have a little crack in there, and have to replace it. These valves you can replace just individual parts here and there, and that's a lot easier than digging the whole thing out. So it's a lot easier that way sometimes, but it just depends on the simple process of it, if that's the right thing to do in a particular instance of what you're trying to repair. I'm gonna walk down there to the chickens now and see if I can turn that thing on while I got my phone on. I do follow a YouTube channel called Arms Family Homestead. I love them. They're very family oriented. He's got great content. I'll put a link in the video up here so you can kind of see what he did. He actually had a video where he did drip irrigation, commented on how to install it. He had a big greenhouse that he did all his irrigation in, and kind of the do's and don'ts and whys and everything of drip irrigation, how he did it. And again, everybody has their own philosophy, their own ways. There is a lot of ways to install this. One thing that I'm a big proponent of is the manifold system, where basically you have all the valves in one location. When I first started doing irrigation a long time ago, we used to do inline systems is what it's called. So you would basically put a valve here in the yard, go around to the side yard, put a valve, go around to the front yard, put a valve. Well, the problem you run into with that is, if I have an issue with this, say I have a zone that's not coming on, well, I have to find that particular zone in that particular yard. Hopefully the box you'll be able to see in the grass. A lot of times they get grown over with grass, you can't find them, so then you have to have a wire locator. We go get that, trace the wires. So having these things in a manifold, which just means it's a big box that you can put anywhere from 4 to 6 or however many valves in one box, in one side of the house, backyard, front yard, side yard, wherever it is in relation to the house. You know where it's at, you know where the problem is. So, and they do that with plumbing too in houses as well. You'll see with electrical boxes and a lot of the breaker boxes, that's kind of what I consider a manifold. Everything's right there, you can diagnose it right there in that spot. So that's one thing that I like about irrigation systems, put them in a manifold versus inline system. So I'll walk down there. I'm actually in my son's tree house that I made him a while back. I mean, if you got a sawmill, you might as well make stuff you can make, right? So this is kind of his little tree house. I'll pan you around so you can kind of see what the view we see. You can kind of see there's my sawmill stuff, big tractor. There's where my chickens are, right in there. You might see them walking around. That's my big building I have. Keep all my wood in there, sawmill stuff, tractors, all kind of good stuff. Like I said, I'll walk back down here to the goats, let you see them, and see if I can turn on that system while I'm recording as well. I don't know if that technology works, but we'll find out. Hang on 1 second, we'll be right back. Alright, so I'm here with the goats. This is Miser and Blade. These are the 2 fainting goats we have. They think I'm going to feed them, but I don't have any food for them. I usually feed them in the morning. Those are 2 males. Planning on doing a big old house for them out of the sawmill. Look for that project coming up. These are 2 females. These are Cotton and Sky. We got these from a friend of my wife's. They're good goats. Hi, dog. Hi, dog. They like to be petted. The other 2 fang goats don't really like to be petted. They, where are you going there? Sticking your little head out. Those are 2 females. But anyway, that's my little bucket over there. Buckets, I guess I could say. So I can get on my timer. I can't do it right now, but I just go to my phone, turn on to that zone, and that fills up the bucket. I don't have to carry a hose way over here and then way back over there. So it's very convenient for me, and I'm sure for everybody else in whatever aspect they may have to water. So again, I think doing that Wi-Fi stuff, like I was saying, is very convenient. So that may be something that you want to do. If you got a question about it, send me a message. I'll be happy to answer it to you. Sawyer's Woodco and Landscaping on Facebook, YouTube. And again, look forward to helping you. Bye.